Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Talking Games with Kellie and Andrew. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Kellie.
Okay.
Sorry, I have to be honest. I'm opening the links on our spreadsheet, and one of them was for a trailer, and I didn't have my muted yet, and it was very loud in my ears. So I was like, "How can I function?" I'm overstimulated, so I just made a noise. So I do apologize if that was audio unpleasantness.
It was beautiful. It was a form of art. So Kellie, did you have fun? Did you get that Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order locked down? Did you have fun doing that last week?
Well, you might be shocked to find out that I got special access to pre-ordering the Nintendo Switch 2 because I am an outside agent of the U.S. government, and I'm unaffected by anything that's happening in the world right now. So
wow, that's really cool. Makes me a little bit angry, but it's really cool.
No, I'm just kidding. Why do you ask, Andrew?
Because nobody has a Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order in the United States of America or Canada. And that is directly because of the currently residing president. There have been a lot of things going on, to put it simply.
Really selling it there.
Everybody knows about the tariff situation. I'm not going to delve into it. But because of the tariff situation, Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders that were supposed to go out on April 9th, they didn't. It's April 14th, the time of recording. There is not even a new date announced. When they pulled the pre-orders, they said that they wanted to, look at the situation, get a grasp of what's going on before they put them back up. We have a Mario Kart Direct coming on Thursday, so part of me wonders, if they want to get that taken care of before. Sorry, somebody's at my front door. It's a mailman. Anyway, part of me.
It's me.
It's Kellie. That's scary.
Hey.
I wonder if they want to have it ironed out before the Mario Kart Direct, but now that's only 3 days, and things are not settling down. The news is changing on tariffs every 12 hours or so. There was originally, enormous tariffs, 45%, 46% on Vietnam, which is where Nintendo Switch 2 is produced. They produce many of them in China and many of them in Vietnam, so the ones they would sell to America would be from Vietnam. And then after that, when there's a giant stock market crash, the tariffs were changed from big numbers to 10%, which is still a much larger number than it was. And then there was a giant increase on China tariffs specifically, and then there was an exemption for smart devices and laptops and electronics like that, but not Nintendo Switch 2, not video game consoles. But then that exemption was gotten rid of too. So now it's back to it's back to one of the ways it was. It has been impossible to truly keep a grasp on what's going on. But as a gamer, I'm sad because I just want to play Mario Kart. I just want to play Mario Kart. And right now it feels bad because pre-orders make you feel like, okay, I got this. I'm going to play Mario Kart the day it comes out. Cool. But now I'm like, are you telling me there's a chance that I'm not going to be able to play this thing on day one because of Donald Trump? Come on.
Yeah, it's always one of those things that it was okay, maybe a conversation way back in the day when it was okay, Switch 2s are happening, prices might go up, they might go down, we're not really sure. I mean, they were never going to go down. I'll just say that right now. I don't think anything's ever going to be less expensive ever again. Sorry to say, not to be pessimistic, but that's just the state of the world. But I think that it's one of those things that's we all sort of talked about it, but it was never concrete, particularly you were talking about with the tariffs. It was very much we don't really know what's going on. It seems to be changing every day. But the fact of the matter is that Nintendo is a company that they don't want to hedge their bets. I'm willing to bet that they want to play it a little bit safer. So ultimately, I do believe the price will go up. regardless of the tariff situation. And I think that that's just news that we might have to prepare for. And like to your point about like, okay, you want to have that comfort and security of knowing that you have this, especially a console that's going to be in very high demand. I just think it really sucks that like that option has sort of been removed, and we're not really, it would be nice to have a little bit of assurance like, okay, you know, maybe they'll open up a pre-order in like May. I mean, June 5th is very soon if you really think about it. It's more than a month, but just barely. So
that's for a console pre-order though. It's not even just a video game. It's like a whole console.
Yeah. So, and you know, we've heard all of these things from Nintendo about how, oh, we're going to create the supply to meet the demand. We're going to do what we promise, we promise, we promise. But it's just, it doesn't make you feel good. And especially like, I think it's really hard, and not to get on my soapbox here, but I think it's really hard in this current landscape that we live in to just like function as a human. And we have very minimal creature comforts. And to have such a big creature comfort be directly impacted by part of why I think the world feels so difficult to live in right now, it's like, oof, it's really a gut punch. So that's unfortunate. I think it's hard too, because you also, on the other side of the coin, you're like, okay, I don't want to sound like a privileged and entitled, like, oh my God, my console is going to be more expensive, when there's like quite deeper issues with everything that's going on. But I think that, like I was saying, it's one of those things that feels separated from that, and now it's entrenched in that. And I think that really makes it hurt all the more.
I feel like with like things like groceries and stuff, people don't have the clearest picture of how much things actually cost, you know? Like they're like, oh, it fluctuates. My eggs cost a different amount every time I go. And they don't think about that being weird. Whereas video game consoles are kind of just like set and forget, usually with price, unless there's a price drop. So the idea that just a few days ago they would announce a price for a product and then raise it is kind of hard to wrap one's head around. So I think obviously there's a high level of privilege involved with being able to have the discussion, but it's like almost easier to understand than a lot of the other things that have gone on. It's less abstract. It's more straightforward in the sense that it's like, this is a product that you had an expectation. The price was a little higher than I think most people expected. $400, $450 isn't bad. Come on, if you're buying a console day one, and you're going to play thousands of hours over the course of 8 years, $50 more for the console is not the thing to be mad about. $80 Mario Kart's the thing to be mad about, but that's a different discussion. It just is frustrating, and I don't know. I don't want to delve too deep because there is so much more to it, but it's just very, very disappointing to feel like something as simple as my enjoyment of video games is being hampered by the political decisions of people that I cannot control.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I want to share with you an interesting statistic.
Hit me.
That is what our second story this day. It feels weird putting like a time
because somebody could be listening at 8 a.m. or 2 a.m.
Yes. So according to a report from Insider Gaming, 58% of PC gaming revenue came from microtransactions in 2024. So that's like your battle passes, your loot boxes. I actually don't know how popular loot boxes are anymore. I think they've sort of fallen to the wayside in favor of battle passes, and
just like regular purchases. Like,
yeah.
Kelly, I don't know if you know this, but 58%, that's more than half.
Yes. So that's $24.4 billion. But it's only a 1.4 year-over-year growth. So in 2023, it was still quite significant. And according to Insider Gaming, these are the 3 games that were eating up this amount. Which
I'm scared.
These games will not come as a shock to anybody. The first one is Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Okay. The second one is Roblox, which I absolutely believe because I went to, just for the sake of transparency, I went to a Chili's last weekend, and I watched a child play Roblox the entire time I was there on his iPad. And I think he probably spent like $20 of his parents' money. And I'm not sure they even knew. So it does not shock me that unfettered access to Roblox for the children of the world would cause a lot of money being spent.
That's terrifying. That's so scary.
And then the third game was Fortnite, which also doesn't surprise me, but for different reasons, because I think Fortnite had kind of a crazy year with all of the characters that they added to their roster in 2024. So it does not shock me that a lot of people spent money because I think those characters tend to cost money. So DLC revenue also went up. Obviously Elden Ring was a big part of that in 2024. And World of Warcraft also had DLC in 2024. So kind of crazy.
So much money.
It's a lot of money. It's really hard to conceptualize these huge numbers when you read them because it's like, even if you think about $1 million, how life-changing $1 million would be for you, $1 million to $1 billion is like nothing, which is crazy. $1 billion, even just 1 billion, is an absurd amount of money.
It's infinite for any individual.
Yes, you could live your whole life and not spend it all, and you could be trying to spend it all.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
You could buy so many
really
Nintendo Switch 2 consoles at their new price of $795.
You could buy 2 Nintendo Switch 2 consoles if you had $1 billion. Just joking. I'm not joking at all. But yeah, the games that are sorry, I'm looking at the other stories on this website, and it's like some of them are just so crazy.
Give me one good headline.
Oblivion Remake could be released tomorrow, it's claimed. Brackets, updated again. I've seen this remake like talked about in this way for like 2 months now.
Yeah.
Like the Oblivion remake's going to be out yesterday. You're going to go to bed and you're going to wake up and somebody's already going to have like speed run it. And it's like,
there's going to be somebody standing at your bed, at the end of your bed, and you're going to wake up and be like, oh, and they're going to be like, they just reach out and they're like, here's a copy of the Oblivion remake.
Hey, I would love if the Oblivion remake came out
tomorrow.
I have some time off this week, which I'm very excited about. I would love to play Oblivion. I think these people are
Delulu.
Imbibing in substances because I don't think I see the evidence like they do.
Well,
much love to them.
Me and you can imbibe in some substances on June 9th. I said the wrong date.
That's crazy.
June 8th.
I will, but if you want to imbibe substances on the 9th, I'm fine with that. We can do that.
Okay, let's do the 8th instead.
Okay.
That way we can watch the Summer Xbox Game Showcase on Sunday, June 8th, which is going to be followed immediately by an Outer Worlds 2. That's a big difference.
It's very easy to get those games confused.
Outer Worlds 2 Direct. This is the third year in a row they've done a Direct after their showcase. They did Starfield, and then they did Call of Duty, and now they're doing Outer Wilds 2, which honestly surprises me. It didn't strike me as something that they would have as like their flagship game for this year, but I guess that's their big holiday title. So cool. They always have these. It's not surprising. We know the date. It's usually the Sunday after Summer Game Fest, which is June. It's June 6th because it's one day after. Am I correct? Is it one day after the Switch 2 comes out?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
June 6th is a great date.
It's June 6th. So the Switch 2 comes out June 5th, and then immediately following it on Friday is Summer Game Fest. But this is good news, I guess. They usually put on good shows. So
what do you think is going to be there? Hey, I'm gonna venture a guess. How about the Oblivion remake?
No, that's out tomorrow, Kelly. Why would that be at this?
I'm just curious. I don't really know what Xbox has in the
barrel,
in the trunk. Like, I don't know.
Kind of nothing, because they launched South of Midnight last week, and they're launching Doom in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So other than Outer Wilds and Fable, which has been delayed, I really don't know. Which they love third parties though. So
Well, they said bringing you a look at upcoming titles from our first-party studios and new titles from our third-party studios.
Yeah, so Persona
Now,
6,
it says,
obviously.
So it's saying upcoming titles from our first-party studios and then new titles from the third-party studios. The language is very interesting.
I'm going to say I wouldn't read into that too much just because I think they just didn't want to say upcoming twice.
I just wonder what it's going to be. I feel like it really could be anything. Do you think we'll see something from Bethesda?
No. Well, Oblivion remake maybe, but I think it's...
Unless it's already out.
Unless it's been out since tomorrow.
What do you think, like, if we did see something from them, what would you say?
Bethesda?
Like, I can't think of anything, yeah.
I think it's too early for Bethesda. Unless you're talking... Do you mean Bethesda like GameWorks, or do you mean like a new Wolfenstein?
Like Bethesda proper.
Okay, so not like a new Wolfenstein. Well, they just released Indiana Jones, so there's not a new Wolfenstein. Honestly...
Maybe something from, like, the RPG team?
I'm honestly more expecting just them paying a lot of money for third-party stuff, you know? And probably maybe the Silksong release date. Since it's on Game Pass.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see what's going to be happening.
Yeah, I'm not really that engaged on summer shows this summer unless Nintendo's having one.
It just feels like I don't know what's coming. Like, I don't feel like I think a lot of significant releases have happened at the end of last year, at the beginning of this year. Like, I just don't really know what's upcoming, other than, like, obviously the Switch is going to be a big deal for the industry as a whole. But
right, but that's why I say
really
I only
know.
care about if they have a summer direct, that'd be amazing. I bet that'll absolutely turn our brains to jelly because they'll talk about what's next year. But if they're not doing that, which I don't have particular money on them doing a summer showcase, since June 5th is the release of the Switch 2. That'd be kind of cool if they did the release on June 5th and then a direct on like June 16th or something like that.
Yeah. I know this is not Xbox. I'm just curious because I forgot. Do you know when Death Stranding 2 comes out?
June 26th.
Is that June? Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious.
So between Mario Kart and Donkey Kong.
So that's pretty big. That's pretty significant,
Yeah.
I would say.
But like,
I'm just trying to think of like what's happening this year. I don't even know.
a Death Stranding 2 trailer 3 weeks before release can't carry summer showcases, you know?
Yeah, definitely not.
I feel
we'll
like we
get,
don't know what's coming this summer, which is interesting.
Yeah, maybe we'll get like a Last of Us remastered, remake, re-release, report, Ultimate Edition 1 and 2.
They're literally doing that. But
they're
doing a new pack where you can buy both of them.
They're going to do Last of Us Birth by Sleep.
Okay.
Last of Us 1.5.
Okay.
Last of Us.
Maybe you could talk about the next story instead.
I'm sorry, am I hitting a nerve here? Hey, do you remember that game Marathon? It was they showed it off at that like live service PlayStation showcase like 2 years ago.
Yeah, but it's Bungie, so it's okay.
Right. It's Bungie. So everything is good. Well, we got a gameplay overview trailer and a release date of September 23rd, 2025. It is a team-based extraction shooter. That's Marathon.
It's free, right? It's free, right? It's free, right?
Is it? I don't think it's free.
No, it's a premium product. It costs money. It's not $70, but it costs money.
Unfortunately, I don't think that this is a model that will work.
What?
Unless the game is really, really, really good.
PlayStation just did a great job with this exact model a few months ago. Concord was a roaring success.
Like good. If good meant the exact opposite of that word, then yeah, for sure.
I mean, I feel like this reminds me of Concord in many ways, but Bungie is better at making games. Nobody complained about Concord's playing. Like, they were all like, oh, it's a perfectly fine game. It was just they charged money for a new live service game that nobody cared about.
Yeah.
And even if Bungie's making this, are people going to... It's going to be better than Concord, because Concord was the biggest video game flop we've seen in our lifetimes. But is it going to be successful?
I don't know. I just don't think that you can justify the model at this period of time.
No.
That's tough. I mean, I have no interest in it. It does not look good to me at all. But I think it's colorful, which is nice. It looks good to my eyes. But does it really? Does it really look good to my eyes?
I feel bad because I want it to fail, because I want PlayStation to really, really understand how wrong they are about everything. But then I feel bad because they'll shut down Bungie, you know? And that...
Oh, that'd be crazy. I feel like...
I mean, not shut down, but scale back immensely, I should say.
Yeah. A part of me feels like they are already learning this lesson, and if they were paying attention to what happened last year with Concord and Xbox, and the way opinions have sort of shifted away from live service as much, or at least to this model of live service, I feel like a very smart thing to do in terms of like R&D or marketing or whatever you want to call it is to say, okay, people don't really want live service games, and if they do want live service games, they want these big free crossover games that are just like casual, or if you get invested, super deep, like Fortnite. Like you can casually play Fortnite, but there are people who play Fortnite every day. That's like the golden zone. And I don't think every studio needs to make Fortnite. I just think that it shocks me that more studios have not said, hey, here's a free game. They've made a ton of money, as we saw earlier from the report of all the microtransactions. They've made a ton of money off this game, and they're not charging people 70, 60, 50, whatever dollars for it. It's free. So I just don't really understand how. My only thought is that there's someone at the top making decisions, and they have like an iron fist over.
I think that was Jim Ryan. I think this is just the resounding impact of Jim Ryan, who's gone, but you can't just... I mean, they canceled a lot of games, so you can cancel games, but Marathon was probably too far along at that transition point, and they bought Bungie, so they couldn't just be like, oh, we canceled the one thing that Bungie was making.
Yeah, I think it's tough too, because Bungie's like this sort of legacy studio. Obviously, Halo was very formative for a lot of people, and I think that they would. I'm sure that there is a thought to recapturing that feeling, but you know, Halo came out in the 2000s. It was a different time. Games were a lot cheaper. To play online, you had to like hook up your LAN. It was a different time. So
just let them make a single player game. Just let them do it.
Yeah. I've never played. I mean, I played Destiny. I played Destiny 2.
I think it's pronounced Density by Bungie.
Right, Density by Bungie. I played Destiny. I actually did enjoy it, and I enjoyed what little I played of Destiny 2, but it's like the sauce is there, they just don't have the noodles. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Like, they've got something in the pot, but it not quite... It just feels so restricted by the format.
And you don't think...
That's just my opinion. And that's me as someone who prefers single-player games, so I don't know if it's an issue for people who are more accustomed to multiplayer games.
You don't think Marathon is noodles?
I really don't. I unfortunately think it's barely even sauce. It's probably butter, if we're being honest. And like, I like a buttered noodle, but I'm not going to eat a stick of butter on its own. That's just...
I might if I'm really desperate, but...
Yeah, if I'm like starving in the apocalypse, yeah, I'd eat some butter, but my tummy would probably hurt really bad.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't be full at all, and I'd clog my arteries, and then I'd be running from a zombie, and I'd have a heart attack, and then the zombie would eat me, and then I'd become a zombie, and then...
Would you cry?
The cycle would continue. I'd find somebody who ate a stick of butter, and I'd do the same thing to them. And it would just be a vicious cycle.
Would you cry?
I may cry.
Kellie may cry. Devil May Cry was a Netflix show that came out pretty recently. I'll talk about it in a second. But before we get into it, it has been renewed already for a second season. So if you were on the fence about this and you were worried that it was going to get canceled, it's not. It is already renewed for a second season, which is a relief with a Netflix show because, you know, Netflix loves to axe things. But these video game adaptations seem pretty lucrative for them because they keep, you know, they're pushing them out. They seem to be everybody's bag. But I watched most of season 1. I haven't had the opportunity to finish it yet. My life has finally slowed down a little bit, so I've been able to, get back into my hobbies such as video games and such. But I am in love with it. It is visually stellar. The story's super fun. The characters are incredibly well acted. I feel like they've really captured the essence of Dante in so many cool ways. It's such a love letter to Devil May Cry, visually and, thematically. I really highly recommend it if you're even a little bit interested in the series. You don't have to have played a game. You can, if you just know about it and think Dante's kind of cool, then you're good to go. You could just jump right in. I'm very, very happy it's getting a second season because this seems like the perfect show to kind of delve into and give it some depth. Give it a few seasons to really flesh itself out. I think Adi Shankar really knocked it out of the park. I really don't like him. I think every time I hear him talk, I'm like, wow, I don't like you, because he's real pretentious. Because like the season 2 announcement, it just says at the top, from visionary director Adi Shankar. And I'm like, don't call yourself a visionary. If you do that, it cancels out. But
yeah,
I'm still going to watch his stuff because he is really good at making video game adaptations.
If you call yourself a visionary, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
And you should reevaluate your choices that led you to this point in your life.
Yeah.
If someone else is calling you visionary, that's awesome. And they probably truly believe that. And that's something that you should feel accomplished and proud of. But if you have to call yourself a visionary, it's like, I think there's a difference between tooting your own horn and like, and really tooting your own horn. I was going to say something a lot less PG, but I'm a good podcaster.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't swear and I don't say anything inappropriate.
Okay.
Ever. Even in regular conversation, because I'm always training myself to be able to speak off the cuff on this podcast.
Always training?
Yep. Always training.
That's crazy.
Yep, that's right. Yep. It's true. It's true.
I got to pay you more.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I would accept like $5 at this point, or like an ice cream cone, or like Wingstop.
I'll go with the ice cream cone. That's the cheapest option.
What if it's like really expensive ice cream? Like there's like gold flakes and caviar.
I want to be
on
clear.
it.
There is no ice cream. It is just the cone.
Oh.
I bought you like a sugar cake cone for 40 cents.
You know what I used to do when I was younger?
Did you eat those too?
A little off topic. Yeah, but instead of doing ice cream, I would put whipped cream in them.
That's delicious.
And I would eat like a whipped cream cone. It was so good. And it was like, this is not good for me. This is not healthy. This food is simply a receptacle for fat. But it tasted good. And that's all that mattered to me. And I was young, so it didn't matter. My metabolism was so fast. Now I'm old and crotchety, and I yell at kids to get off my lawn. And
your lawn? You live on like the 43rd floor.
yeah, I yell at kids to get off my 43rd floor. I yell at kids to quit watching that darn zombie show in front of me. I'm scared of them. I'm just kidding. I am talking about The Last of Us, though, which was renewed for season 3 before season 2 premiered, which was actually last night as of time of recording, April 13th.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought this happened. I thought when it got renewed for 2 seasons.
I feel like I remember that too.
I thought it was
but
specifically.
Maybe that was just
Was
yeah,
that
maybe
Fallout?
We just assumed that. I don't think so. I think Fallout was renewed. Actually, I think it took a little while for Fallout to be announced, like the renewal.
Yeah, that one was.
This.
It was like on the day of the season finale, right?
Didn't Fallout release all at the same time?
No, they dropped 3 episodes at once, and then they did weekly.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I just really thought there was already a season 2.
Me too. I just assumed that when they were like, we're splitting up we're splitting up part 2. I was like, okay, well, obviously they're going to make a season 3. I don't know why HBO does this, because it's like, if you know that you're going to renew it, you don't have to like surprise us like the day of the premiere.
Maybe it's just to get more eyes on it.
Yeah, it's obviously a marketing tactic, but I don't know. I actually, in full transparency, I have not watched the premiere yet. I just did not have time last night because I was watching pro wrestling, and no, I'm not kidding. And I will probably not watch it tonight either because it's Monday Night Raw, And for those who don't know, that's the WWE's Monday night show. And it's the week before WrestleMania. So WrestleMania is this weekend. And that's like the big event of the year for WWE. And the Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania is always really crazy because that's when like a lot of storylines are ramping up. That's when like certain plot twists happen as you get into WrestleMania. Do you have any questions about WrestleMania or the WWE or pro wrestling?
I think maybe I could talk about The Last of Us, but I don't know if I have anything to say about WWE.
Oh, okay. Well, just imagine Joel is John Cena.
Played by John Cena, or John Cena is Joel? Just
walk with me. I'll just explain to you. Like, I'll give you some perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So John Cena is Joel.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what does that mean? Which way?
Abby is Cody Rhodes.
Played by who's Cody Rhodes?
No, I'm just trying to demonstrate to you the storyline, the plot of what's going on in the WWE right now, and what was happening in The Last of Us.
Okay, but without spoiling The Last of Us.
Yeah. I would actually flip it. I would say John Cena is actually more like Abby, and Cody Rhodes is more like Joel. Because of something crazy that happened, but I won't talk about it. I don't have anything to say about The Last of Us because I didn't watch it, but Andrew, I know you did. So if you would care to share your thoughts so I stop verbally vomiting about pro wrestling, that would be awesome. Okay.
You good?
I also really like CM Punk.
Okay, I'm going to just start talking about it. I watched the season 2 premiere. If you're a longtime listener, you might remember my general sentiments about season 1, which was good show, don't care. Because I've seen it. And it's the same plot. Obviously, there's some liberties taken. My favorite episode of season 1 by far, and I think this is a pretty common sentiment, was the Nick Offerman episode. It was, the Bill and Frank episode.
Frank
was a really great departure that really added a lot to the story. I'm gonna watch season 2 for those kinds of things. But the season 2 premiere was exactly what I expected. Wow. Do you hear that?
Yeah, I do. Someone's revving up.
Wow.
That's Joel in the back.
I was just not super engaged by the season 2 premiere, and I think a regular television viewer probably would be. I think it's almost like I felt like the actors were like playing pretend, which they are. They're acting, but like when I know exactly what's happening, I'm like, just get to it. I know what's happening. Just come on. The second season definitely opens. I will not say any spoilers. Don't worry, no spoilers. But Kellie knows the plot of part 2 very well. So you know how part 2 kind of opens on like a kabang, and then
Yes.
they use flashbacks to kind of elaborate on how we got there?
Yes.
This is linear. There's no flashbacks. It's just...
I sort of assumed it would be like that just to like build it up a little bit more.
Yeah, but that sucks in my opinion. Like the way that Last of Us Part 2 opened was such like a profound plot decision that absolutely punched millions of people directly in the unspeakables. Like so many people were just like completely taken aback, taken off guard, upset, but also entirely engaged. And it feels like gearing people up for it kind of takes away. It's still going to, the shocking revelations that part 2 had are still going to shock television audiences pretty drastically, I'm sure. But it's almost like it softens the blow if you know what's coming to an extent. Like there's no surprise involved. They tell you what's on the way. And, it could go either direction. You don't know how that'll shake out or how long that'll take to shake out. But like the way that part 2, the game opened, was just so shocking, And if you soften that blow, it's like, maybe they're going a different direction is what I'll say. And that's not a spoiler. I don't know. There is no second episode to watch yet, unless you have, access to a pre-release copy, which I do not, because we are not big enough to do that yet.
I am, because I'm good friends with Pedro.
That's really cool that you have access to the whole season already and you haven't watched any of it yet.
You didn't see me. I did a piece on
Yeah, no, I saw it. The audience.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, the audience just couldn't.
Oh, I can only see like half myself.
Oh, I see you as a full 16 by 9 frame.
I'm cut off right here.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see all of your room.
They were equal in size.
Oh, I always make you bigger.
I think this...
I pin you.
Oh.
There's a pin option.
Can you make me lose some? So I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. I'm joking. I'm sure this conversation is very enrapturing for our audience.
It's just I'll talk about it again. I don't think I'll have, maybe there'll be an episode that I would care to talk about, but at this rate, the only like change that I care about is like Catherine O'Hara's character is brand new plot development. I think she's a profoundly good actress, so it's like cool to see her. She really kills it in this role, but that's kind of it for me so far. And there've been like a couple things that were like shot for shot, and like I get that The Last of Us 2, like the party scene is iconic, but shot for shot I don't like, because I'm just distracted by like, it just feels wrong to me. Like video game, it's already photorealistic, so when you're doing shot for shot, I'm like, what is the purpose of what you're doing right now? Like, what is this accomplishing? Right. And I have to take a step back. I would say the majority of people watching this, I don't have the numbers, but I bet the majority of people watching this haven't played the game. So therefore it is substantial. It is hitting for those people because it is beautiful and it's incredible and it's very purposeful, but I've seen it,
Right. You've been there, done that.
So I think I'm going to watch every week, but I don't know if I'll be rushing to see it every Monday morning. I guess I could watch it Sunday nights, but I don't think I'll be rushing to watch it every week. But I probably will keep up with it,
Yes.
It's just like I've been, the two big adaptations I've been watching are Devil May Cry and Last of Us now. And it's like Devil May Cry is a fun thing that uses the Devil May Cry world as a bounce off, a bouncing board. What's it called when you like bounce off of it? What's it called?
I don't know.
When you're using something as a blank to bounce off of.
I don't know.
As a bouncing board, a board that you bounce off of. I just
don't think that's right. And I don't think there's a word, and I think that you're scaring me.
All right, let's just talk about video games instead.
I don't want to talk about video games.
Well, that's so unhelpful. Kelly, do you remember what you said last episode about the game you played this week? Because you just teased it.
What did I say?
I don't know. I'm asking. Kelly, what do you think about Assassin's Creed Shadows? Where are you? How much have you played? What do you think?
I haven't played like significantly more than I did last time we spoke. But yeah, I mean, I feel like my thoughts are pretty much the same. I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying my time with the game. I would enjoy getting through it, but I've just really taken my time because I started playing a different video game, which I probably shouldn't have, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. The point is that my thoughts, my opinions have not really changed. I'm still enjoying myself, and I would still recommend it. I just wouldn't pay like the full retail price for it if I were you.
Okay.
Or anybody else.
You did pay full retail price, right?
I sure did.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
that was back in the day when it was like
a few
weeks ago. Yeah, I was like, I'm not buying a house right now, so I've got all this disposable income, and then oops, buying a house.
Well, at least you have a house and Assassin's Creed Shadows now.
Well, yeah, right. Yeah.
You could always return it.
The house?
I meant Assassin's Creed Shadows, but
I actually don't know if I can, because I think
Oh, what'd you get it on Steam?
Oh, can you return it any time on PlayStation?
Oh, you got it on PSN? Yeah, you're not getting a refund.
You don't get a refund on Steam either. And I'm past the point of no return. I've played for more than 2 hours,
okay.
So I wouldn't get a refund.
So Steam has a refund system. Also, you can, never mind. You get like one free pass on Steam, right? I think.
I don't know. I've never returned a game on Steam.
Well, before 2 hours, it's nothing. It's literally just hit a button and it happens automatically. You don't even have to like explain yourself. Like if you buy a game that takes an hour to beat, you can just return it afterwards. But I'm pretty sure you could probably message gamer support and explain like, oh, this game actually doesn't run on my PC. I shouldn't be explaining this. This is bad, but Steam has enough
Gamer
money.
support.
Steam has enough money. I don't feel bad telling people they could probably get some free games, but like a free game.
Gamer support. I'll be your gamer support.
Kelly.
I support you, gamer.
Kelly.
Yep.
I have a new TV.
Woo!
It's 77 inches long, or
Woo!
corner to corner.
Woo! 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 Woo!
Google is censoring you so hard, so it just sounds like.
Don't worry, you'll heal
All right. I bought a new TV. It's a 77-inch OLED that I've been eyeing up for a long time. And I was like, I'm not getting it until I have a bigger house because I want to mount it to the wall because there's no way I'm putting this on a TV stand, you know? So I got a house and I was like, okay, this time. Why hesitate? So I didn't hesitate. I bought it. It's so big. It's so large. But it really feels incredible to play games on it. And I'm very glad I did, especially knowing that the Switch 2 will support variable refresh rate and 120 FPS. But I've been playing a Switch 1 game. I bought this incredibly large 4K television, and I've been playing a 30 FPS kind of HD game. That's Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. I bought it on release day and then didn't play it for weeks because I'm a bad person, and because I was really, really busy with the house. But I finally buckled down very recently, and I've played like 17 hours in a few days. I've been playing a lot of it. This game is...
Can I interrupt you really fast? I think me talking about buying a house and you referencing the fact that you have bought a house makes it sound like we bought a house together.
Me and Kelly live together now.
We're in the gamer house.
I do have a gamer house, basically. You can see behind me now, right? I got a bunch of gamers.
I can't see your whole thing. Hold on.
Use the little pin button.
Don't tell me to pin me. You're still small.
Get a better...
Show the full video. Oh, yeah. Okay. I see.
Okay. Yeah. I got a gamer. I got a billion amiibos behind me. Behind the computer is all my PlayStation 5 and 4 games and my Kingdom Hearts collection. There's a bunch of Switch games right there. There's a bunch of gamer merch back there. I got more games in the other room because they don't all fit in here. Anyway, I'm in Xenoblade Chronicles X is what I was talking about.
Yes.
I played it on the Wii U in 2015, so it's been a couple years since that came out. It's very nostalgic for me now to be playing this game, which is terrifying because I am an old man now. But it is super satisfying to go through. This is not very similar to the other Xenoblade games other than like gameplay. Combat gameplay. The actual like way that you explore the world is a lot more akin to like a Breath of the Wild game. A Breath of the Wild-esque game, I should say. Which, if you know anything about the development stuff, the team who helped with this, that made this map, helped make the Breath of the Wild map, which obviously is, one of the most esteemed open worlds on the planet. You can feel that. You can feel that DNA as you're running across this world, and you can run at crazy speeds. When you jump, you go like, wow! You jump super high. Oh, there's no fall damage, so you can jump off a cliff and just fall for like 45 seconds straight and then hit the ground, just be like... Your character like stops and is like, but doesn't take damage. Combat's super fun. The whole like thing of the game, like the thing they put on the box art is that you get to drive a giant mech. I'm almost 20 hours in. I don't have the mech. It takes a long time to get it. I think I'm right on the precipice. I'm about to get it. I'm about to enter a story chapter right now. Not right now. I'm not holding the controller, but that is the last thing I did was I walked up to the story chapter and I said, later. But I'm having the absolute time of my life. It's so exciting to enjoy a game like this. And I'm kind of hoping this kicks my butt into like gamer gear again. Because I've been really bad about playing games since I've been, doing the whole moving process. Because
I mean, that's pretty significant. That's a pretty big chunk of your life. So I don't think anyone would begrudge you for having a bad gamer year.
I'm going to have a bad gamer. Like I usually do the 50 per year. There is no earthly way I can recover from the damage I've done to my reputation. I will never recover from this.
Dang.
I'm going to pull up the list real quick because I'm just curious and we're talking. Anyway, Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. Highly recommended. Very good game if you have any interest in the Xenoblade series. This is a pretty decent entry point. I think Xenoblade Chronicles 1 Definitive Edition on Switch is probably the best. But this is sort of like, if it seems like this is something you're really interested in aesthetically, because it's way more sci-fi than the other ones, maybe give it a look, give it a peek. Oh God, Kelly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games this year.
That's fine. You should
so-
see my list. It'll make you feel really
That's
nice.
so bad. So that means I need to finish 44 games in,
Rookie stuff.
and I'm not counting April because it's April 14th. Should I count April?
Yeah, count
Well,
it.
I'll do a half month.
Yeah.
So there's 9.5 months. Oops. Divided by 9.5. I just have to finish, I guess 4.63 games per month isn't impossible.
You can do that.
Yeah, but I feel like
You just need to start playing games on like Steam more, like cheap games that you can return in an hour.
but I don't want to play games because they're short. I want to play them because I want to play them. And Xenoblade X was big. I dropped Avowed, which makes me sad because I was personally enjoying it. It just came out at a really bad time for me because it literally came out and then 2 days later I got keys to my house and I was like, well, sucks for Avowed.
Yeah.
So, and now I'm like, there's so many, like the things that kind of came out in that period. I'm just like, that didn't happen, you know? And I want to play like South of Midnight, but I'm like, maybe I'll try. I really want to play Clair Obscure. But that game comes out, it's like 30-hour RPG, which is not that long for an RPG, but that's a long game. There's just a lot.
Yeah.
And I want to play Doom, and then the Switch 2 will come out, and I want to play that. And then Death Stranding comes out, and I want to play that. Then Donkey Kong Bonanza comes out, and I want to play that.
Yeah.
There's no rest for the gamers.
I'm often saying that.
Ain't no rest for the gamers.
Oh.
Switch 2 don't grow on trees.
Oh.
So I've been practicing my
That's-
singing.
Well, it's great.
Really?
Yeah.
What if I sang
It's good
just a little
singing.
bit more before we wrapped up?
I think we'll get copyright struck.
I'm making these songs up as
So-
I go.
Oh.
Give me a theme. Give me a
Don't you want to protect your intellectual property?
no. I want to share with the world.
Oh.
Give me like a game to think about.
A game? Oh. How about Tomodachi Life?
Okay, and then give me an artist to base it. Like that's the vibe.
I give you an artist?
Yeah, a musical artist.
How about like Boston?
Okay. Tomodachi Live.
Okay.
How was that? Was that good? Was that?
It was a great start.
No, that's the song. That's you hit play on Spotify
No,
and it does that.
Right. Well, you know what I'm always saying? Your work is never perfect. It's always good to go back and continually improve. And I think that what's great about your song is that there is so much room for improvement. You can only go up. So.
That's a crazy way to say that.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it crazy? Or am I the only sane one left?
Don't make me sing again. You got to get out of here.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode of Talking Games with Kelly and Andrew. I hope that you have a great day, a great week, a great month, and a great year. And we will see you soon where we will be, we'll still be in April, but it'll be April showers, bring May flowers. Okay. Thank you. Bye.